Hey guys, this is Mrs. Bartlett. I am a special ed teacher at Liberty Elementary School, and I'm here at my house right now. I realize many of you are going to be starting supplemental education packets beginning tomorrow, and so I thought it might be helpful to actually do some of the reading packets via video so that if you aren't able to read with your child or if they're not able to read independently, then you'll be able to use these resources and these videos to listen along to the story, go back and rehear the story, or even have some guidance on how to answer the questions. So what I'm planning to do is to read each story in a separate video, and I'm going to be thinking out loud as I go about different text features, different connections you and your child might be making, text to self, text to text, or text to world. And then also I'm going to be giving some strategies for comprehension as we go along. Again, this is completely voluntary. I'm doing it for my students, and I thought it would be helpful to other students as well. So you'll be able to access all kindergarten reading via video, and you'll also have access to all first grade reading with videos too. So if your child goes through these packets really quickly and you're like, hey, I need more resources, always reach out to the classroom teacher, but know that the first grade videos will be on here too. All right, so if you're following along with your packet, it should look like this. This curriculum they're using is called iReady. It says grade K reading, and then each section will begin with some different instruction on what you're going to be focusing on for that text. And again, I'm going to be reading this as if I'm teaching a mini lesson with my students, and I'll also address parents for things you might want to do for extensions as well. Each of these packets does come with a pacing guide, which talks about what you're supposed to do each lesson. But I know your teachers have created their own pacing guide to try to make it a little bit more appropriate for developmental skills. And we know this text can be a little challenging for some kindergarteners, so we want to make sure that it's scaffolded to meet their needs too. So I'm going to go ahead and turn ahead here in my packet. You can turn along with me if you would like. And I'm going to start on page 8. This says, How the Camel Got His Hump by Stephen Krensky. Stephen Krensky is our author. Remember, the author writes the book, and the illustrator is the person who draws or paints the pictures. Unfortunately, mine is in black and white. Yours probably is too. Hopefully, looking closely at your own packet, you'll be able to see all those key details. There was once a lazy camel that lived near the desert. He did not live alone. Help us gather the hay, said a horse. If we wait too long, the wind will blow it away. Humph, said the camel. He did nothing. Notice our picture matches our text. Text is just a fancy way of saying the words inside the story. Help us collect sticks for the fire, said a dog. Cold nights are coming. Humph, the camel said again. Help us plow the field, said an ox. We need to grow food. Humph, said the camel. He did nothing. The next day, a genie came. He said, I feel something is wrong. What is it? The camel doesn't help, said a horse. We do all the work, said the dog. The ox nodded. He just stands around. The genie said, Let's see about that. Then the genie appeared next to the camel. You need to change your ways, he said. Humph, said the camel. The genie waved his arms. The camel's back began to puff up. Soon a big humph, or hump, stuck out. From now on, your hump will remind you of one thing, said the genie. You care only for yourself, and camels have had humps ever since. So now that this is the end of the text, this might be a good time for you guys to talk about, is this a true story? Is this a fiction story? Is it make-believe? How do you know? At the end of each text, there will be some questions or a short assignment. These questions are starting right now on page, this page isn't numbered. I apologize. Should be the top of page 15. Sorry, it's not numbered for some reason. It looks like this. Question number 1. Who gathers hay? And they're going to give you 3 different pictures to choose from. You're welcome to circle the answer you feel like is correct, or you guys can talk about it out loud. None of these packets are going to be scored. Question number 2. The character is the camel in the story. What does the camel do? Does he A, plow the fields, B, collect sticks, or C, nothing? Does he A, plow the fields, B, collect sticks, or C, does he do nothing? So you could talk about that out loud if you'd like as well. Question number 3. The top of page 16 should look like this. What do the camels tell the genie about the camel? Is it A, the camel does not help with the work, B, the camel will not stand near them, or C, the camel is not feeling well? What do the animals tell the genie about the camel? If you're looking at this and you're thinking, Mrs. Bartlett, I have no idea, it's okay to stop the video, go back, listen to it again, or go back in your packet and reread. Question 4. Read the underlined sentence. What does the genie want the camel to do? They're going to show you the page from the text again with the words to kind of reference. And it says, then the genie appeared next to the camel. You need to change your ways, he said. Hump, said the camel. So it says, read the underlined sentence. You need to change your ways, he said. What does the genie want the camel to do? What does it mean you need to change your ways? Does it mean A, he wants the camel to appear near the animals? B, he wants the camel to get mad at the animals? Or C, he wants the camel to help the animals? So you can figure out which answer seems most correct. What do you think is most true? All right, so those are all the questions for that first text. If you were trying to expand this, you guys could have some conversations about camels. Hey, do camels have humps? Do they all have the same number of humps? Where do camels live? You're welcome to use other resources if they're accessible to you. Maybe you want to go to National Geographic, look up some dromedary camels or some other camels and see what do they look like. And then have a conversation. What does it mean for something to be true or false, fiction or nonfiction? Those are just some suggestions for expanding. All right, we're going to keep going with our next story in just a few minutes. Thanks.